Hello YouTube, and thank you so much for tuning into my video. So I wasn't going to make this video, but somebody mentioned in my last video about Blaire White that Blair had actually issued an apology. Now, at the time of me releasing my video unsubscribing to Blaire White, I was in a space where I lost complete interest in Blair's content, and I didn't want to focus on her, and I didn't want to think about her. I was just kind of like, nope, 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 nope. But I went online and I looked for her apology. So I just wanted to unpack what I thought of the apology. Now, it's important to note that I'm glad that she apologized. I'm glad that she apologized. You cannot take that away from her. Look, if we as a society, if we as the trans community require that people or request people to apologize for their wrongdoings, we have to sometimes take their apologies at face value and be like, you know what, thank you for apologizing. It is what it is. Let's move on. Now, I've gone through the apology. I'm never going to subscribe to Blaire White again. And it has nothing to do with the apology. I think the content within the apology itself is good enough. She stated that it was a fuck up on her side, that she hadn't done enough research. And what did she say? She was like, she's taking time off social media and YouTube to work on herself. And I honestly wish that she would work on herself a little bit more and start to evaluate the impact that she has on both the trans community and the cis community. Because she does have an impact, you know what I mean? I think one of my main issues with the video that she made about Jenae Kroc is that it completely blows all of Blaire White's credibility. Now when you look at Blaire White and she says something about someone, there's always that tinge inside of you that's kind of like, Blair has been known to say the most and to spread misinformation. Now, Blair's videos, like I first watched her video on her FFS surgery and I connected with her there and I subscribed to her. But I distinctly remember going through some of her videos and thinking to myself, I'm not going to like this. I'm not going to agree with what she says, and not watching them. And I remember watching videos where she would say something and I just thought, you know, I get where you're coming from, but yeah, what you're saying is borderline hate speech. Because let's think about it. Half of the things that Blair says, like she had a video once called Triggering Trannies, which she changed the title to, I think, Triggering Transsexuals or something like that. But she changed that title. But one of my issues with her is a lot of the things she says we would never accept from the cisgender community, but we accept it from Blair. We wouldn't accept it from anyone who is cis, and yet we accept it from Blair. And the issue with the apology, with the actual apology, is that, you know, Blair came out with this video, guns blazing, coming at Jenae, making fun of her appearance, doing the absolute most, literally acting big in a small town, doing the absolute most. And when it was time to apologize, she did not keep the same energy. I would have preferred it if she made a video and acknowledged the pain that she not only brought to Jenae, but so many trans people. There's so many videos where she's attacked Riley Dennis for her appearance. She's attacked, the list goes on. There's even this one guy, I think his name is Skylar, he's on YouTube, who made a video, and Blaire White literally attacked this then young boy, and this young kid got like harassment and death threats. And I think she doesn't understand the negative impact that she has on the trans community. And her negative impact is so great that in my mind, it diminishes any good that she does. It honestly does, because you need to think about it. The trans community, we have the highest suicide rate out of any demographic. And that's pre-hormones, post-hormones, pre-surgery, post-surgery. There are a lot of people in the trans community that are suffering, that are in pain. And when there are videos out there of trans people who have, by society standards, made it, when there are videos of trans people like that making fun of trans people that don't fit the mold of what it means to be the perfect trans woman or a trans person, like it can be, I'm not saying her videos are going to make somebody want to kill themselves, but you never know. You know what I mean? You never know. If you make a video and you post a picture of a teenager and you send your goons out to harass them and send death threats, you don't see behind the scenes. You don't get that privilege. You know what I mean? So she's made all these videos, and it was crazy because at the time of me releasing my video, my friends that I have on, like my trans friends that I know just from the internet and stuff, sent me like WhatsApp messages saying like, girl, why were you even subscribed in the first place? Like, even my cisgender friends were kind of like, but girl, like, this girl has been a problem. Like, how could you not see the forest through the trees? And it took me a long ass while. And you know why it took me a long ass while to unsubscribe from this person? Like, the backlash that Blair would receive. I remember seeing a video that she made where she wore a Donald Trump hat and she got physically assaulted by somebody. Like somebody like hurt her or somebody threw something at her, I think. I forget the exact details, but somebody got physical with Blair because she wore a Donald Trump hat on Hollywood Boulevard. And I just remember thinking, like, there is no justifiable reason for you to put your hands on someone just because they have a different opinion. And, you know, like, people would come out of the woodwork just going on about this girl. And, you know, it kind of made me want to support her more. You know, when they said that she had blackface on and she did this, that, and the other. It made me want to support her more because Blair comes across as very articulate, is very intelligent, and her arguments, by and large, when she puts an argument out there, you can sort of see her thought process, and it seems to be so well constructed and well thought out that you are inclined to believe what she's saying. You know what I mean? Well, not until that Jenae video. Or at least give it some level of credibility. So I supported her largely because of that. And I also felt, and I still do feel, that within conservative circles, there needs to be a trans voice. And Blair was that for the trans community. She was the one conservative transgender person that could get into these debates and these discussions in conservative circles and to some degree represent us in a way that conservative people would find us acceptable. Now, there's a double-edged sword with that. On the one hand, you have her representing us to some degree, representing some of us. Let me clarify, representing some of us in conservative debates and in conservative circles. On the other end of the spectrum, Blair takes it upon herself to make herself the trans gatekeeper, deciding who gets to be in the club, who gets to be accepted, who gets to be taken seriously. And a lot of her videos, she would ridicule people on their appearance and how far along they are in transition. I mean, she used to make fun of Riley as transition, and she would just come after Riley Dennis. You know what I mean? And I don't agree with everything that Riley said, but Blair just did the most. Blair would just do the most. And I remember this one video. She was sitting with Eden the doll, and they were looking at quote unquote embarrassing trans people. And Eden said that she basically said that, you know, it's people like this that make it hard for girls like us to be taken seriously. Now, if you dig in a little bit deeper, what Blair and Eden were basically saying or putting out to the world is that there is a fundamental difference between the type of trans they are and the type of trans that other people are. And they don't want to be associated to anyone that visibly looks trans. They want to, by and large, be associated with people that look like beautiful women that look cisgender. And it's almost become transitioning, especially for trans women. Transitioning has become this beauty contest where it's all about your level of, and I hate this word, but it's become about your level of passability, whether or not you've reached the female threshold and how beautiful you are. And once you've reached the female threshold and have some level of attractiveness as a trans woman, you are then accepted. And it shouldn't be like that, because a lot of us are not going to reach those unrealistic expectations. And Blair punishes people for not reaching those expectations. She uses what they look like as a tool to hurt them and to discredit what they're saying. Look, there's another YouTuber called Rose of Dawn, or Dawn of Rose, something along those lines, who does similar content to Blair, in that she critiques the trans community. Now, the one thing I love about Rose or Dawn, I'm not sure what her name is, but the videos that I have seen about on her, she makes it a point to not poke fun of anyone. Rose made a video about Barbie Kardashian, and before she even went in on Barbie's story, Barbie Kardashian story, she first put it out there that we shouldn't make fun of what she looks like. You know what I mean? And then Rose brought out all of the facts and receipts. Blair first starts with mocking the person, talking about what a mess they look like. And by doing that, she normalizes this idea that we need to attack people based on their physical appearance. And it's sad, you know, because the people that she panders to, the conservative people that she panders to, by and large, do not accept her. And she ends up hurting the trans community that she is a part of. Look, I get it. Blair is conservative and capitalist and Caucasian before she is trans. She's a conservative, Caucasian, capitalist woman living in America before she is trans. All of those labels come ahead of her being trans. So anything that speaks to her conservative values, she's going to put over and above the trans community. I get that. It's cool. It's chilled. Whatever. But like the very same people she panders for don't accept her. So for those that have been watching me, y'all know that I grew up in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I was raised Mormon. Now, I'm at a point in my transition where, fortunately, I've reached the female threshold, and by and large, people accept me as a female, as they should. Now, I had missionaries come over to my house, and they frequently would come over to my house, and they didn't know that I was trans. And we started talking about Ben Shapiro and Blaire Whites debate. And the missionaries who were at my house, they started attacking Blair because I said that, she was really beautiful. They went in and they used the wrong pronouns and they talked about how disgusting they thought Blair was. And the level of hatred that they had for her, I was just kind of like, I was always kind of like, these people, this group of people that you are out here defending and advocating for, they don't fuck with you like that. You know what I mean? They don't fuck with you like that. Like, by and large, conservative people do not accept the T in the LGBT. I mean, tell me the lie. Tell me the lie. So, you know what? I'm grateful that she apologized. And I actually am glad, and I hope that she does do this. She said that in her apology, she stated that any funds made from that video she would give to Jenae Kroc. We have yet to see if she's going to do that, but if she does, you know, that would be like, you know, it would be good. It would be good. My only issue, and like after that video she made, she lost all credibility. And part of the reason she lost all credibility is because it took her over 2 weeks to take the video down. Everyone in the comment section brought up the fact that it was incorrect, these were lies, these were rumors. And Blair saw the comments. She saw the comment. She saw Jenae Kroc's comment. Jenae literally commented on the video and said, I wish you had reached out to me before you spread misinformation. And what did Blair do? She deleted the comment and she left the video up for just over 2 weeks. And what does that tell you? It tells you that she saw the comments and she just disagreed. She didn't think she was wrong. It was only when people started making videos and people were bringing this into the light and she lost some subscribers, not a lot, but just, you know, enough to shake her up a little bit. Then she took the video down and issued an apology. You know, this is a long history. Like, there's been a history of Blair doing things like this where she is horrible to people on her channel. She normalizes the harassment and bullying of trans people and spreads misinformation. There is a history of her doing this. And I didn't understand how deep it was until I made the video and actually listened to people's stories. I didn't get how bad it was. And if you're somebody who's been hurt by comments that people like Blair have made, I just want you to know that you're valid. You're valid. It doesn't matter where you are in transition. It doesn't matter if you look like a Barbie doll, and who the fuck wants to look like a Barbie doll anyways? You are valid and you are beautiful. This is not a beauty contest where you need to be measured up against people that have reached astronomical levels of attractiveness. You're not in competition with them. You're not in competition with Gigi Gorgeous. You're not in competition with Blaire Whites. You're not even in competition with me. You're on your own journey. This is your journey. This is your transition. And you're doing it your way. And that's what's important. Be kind to yourself, even if no one else is. Listen to your feelings, even if no one else does, and understand that you're valuable. I went through the first, I think, 3.5, 4 years of my transition, not on hormones, not having done any surgery, being ridiculed and abused and almost killed because I didn't look like a Barbie doll, because I didn't meet the qualifications or specifications that the trans gatekeepers had for me. So I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be on the other side of the looking glass, wanting to be accepted by this community and to just get hate. And I am sorry. I'm sorry that people like Blair have the platform they do. I really am. I really am. And I didn't care like if I get hate for that comment. I'm sorry that people like that have the platform that they have and they use it in the way that they use it. But just know that you You, my sweet, amazing, beautiful, special, sexy, amazing, trans, gender non-binary person are beautiful. You're beautiful, you're valid, and just, focus on the people and the messages that encourage you, not the ones that break you down. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I love you, and take care of yourself. Your life is important, and we need you here.